we've got a simple factorization problem here. It's a simple trinomial with a leading coefficient of 1. So if we just review what factorization is, it's the reverse of multiplication. When you have two binomials, in this case, we would get this trinomial if we multiplied them together. So, for example, these would be two binomials here, A plus B and C plus D. And the process that we use, if you recall, is FOIL, to multiply these two binomials together and get a trinomial result. So the FOIL part, the F part would be multiplying these first terms together, and then the O part would be multiplying the outer terms together, and here we're just using the distributive property. And then the I part would be multiplying the inner terms together, and then the L part would be multiplying the last terms together. So then what we're going to do is we're going to factor this trinomial, or reverse the multiplication on it, reverse the FOIL on it, to come up with these two similar binomials. So if we look at this, we can just go ahead and draw these two sets of parentheses to get ourselves started. And in multiplying two terms together to get an x squared, they would have to be x and x, and then the last term here is going to be the b and d term here multiplied together. So the possibilities are 1 and 35, and then 7 and 5. And if we think about 7 and 5, that's going to add to 12. So let's try that out. We have two positive signs here, so we can go ahead and just put plus and plus, and we can try a 5 and 12 here, because we know that's going to multiply out, 5 and 7, because we know that's going to multiply out to be 35, and it's going to add to be 12. So now if we were to think about foiling this back out, we could go ahead and just check that this answer is correct and say, okay, well, let's multiply these two terms together to get our f, and we have x squared, and then we can multiply the last two terms, the outer terms, and we would have positive sign, positive 7x, and then multiply the inner terms together, the I part of the FOIL. We'll go ahead and write that out, and we'll have positive 5 times positive x, so that's going to be positive 5x, and then multiply the last two terms together, and we have positive 35, so we can add these two middle terms to get x squared plus 12x plus 35. So we can see that this this factorization down to these two binomials was in fact the correct result.